What's your relationship status? Single?
Oh, wait.
You know what I'm saying? So single doesn't just mean single. There's a whole spectrum.
Okay, expound. So we should
underneath
expound.
that. Yeah, I mean, or you can just say single. But it's like, nah, you know, because you know.
All right,
We're
all
gonna
right.
go around and introduce ourselves. Starting with Phil.
Oh God. Hi, I'm Phil.
I'm Brandy.
I'm Tawana.
I'm Mike.
I'm Veronica.
And I'm Shayoon.
All right, welcome everybody. This segment is going to be all about table topics.
Yes.
So we're literally going to be picking through some of these, and it's random questions. They touch on relationships, they touch on professional, they touch on spiritual, and we're just going to chop it up and have conversation. So I'm going to start with the first question, because I had a question that I stole. Or I found first, but I already know what it is. It's somewhere. And while I'm doing that, you guys can kind of go through here and pick through what you want to talk about, and then we'll kind of discuss it.
Just one?
Sure. Phil told me something. Just one? Can I have many? Nah, bro. We only got 15 minutes. All right. So the first topic that we're gonna talk about is friendships. Isn't that a good one?
Friendships. I like friendships.
Okay.
Because I feel like we always talk about what?
important.
Singlehood and relationships, romantic relationships, but we don't necessarily talk.
Continue, bruh. Don't.
You see, this is a friendship that I need to work on.
I'm not.
But I feel like we don't talk a lot about like friendships, that part of relationships. So what do you guys think makes up a friend? What do you define as a friend? Are there levels to friends versus a friend versus associate? Who's in your inner circle? Not specifically who, but what type of person can be in your inner circle? That type of thing. So let's start with that. Anybody got any thoughts? Oh.
Go
I
ahead.
can't give away the cheat codes. I think there are cheat codes to those levels, and I don't want to give them away.
Oh, wait, hold on, start. That's interesting. You and then Shayoon, because I want to hear what you
Yeah.
got. Go ahead, start the cheat code.
I mean, I'll just say, yeah, of course I have friends that are in my inner circle at arm's length and friends I just wave at from a distance, right? I don't know how people come into that circle. I just think it's like, it's meant to be, honestly. But we have to have something in common, like the foundation has to be in common. So I'll say for me, if you're not serious about your faith and really walking, like you just will not get past arm's length. But beyond that, I think just a general kindness and love of people. And I'm drawn to people who love other people.
But the friend that is like the waving friend, is that a friend?
Or an associate? Like, would you consider them a friend or associate?
That's tough because I have some people at arm's length that probably right now would see this and be like, I'm offended. But I love them as much as I love like my family.
Okay.
But they're not in my inner circle, meaning we're not that intimate, right? So I don't know if I would call them friend. I'd maybe even call them family.
Okay, I see. I understand that. Yeah, I would probably say the same. Okay, so I think there are levels. Like I have like categorized most people in my life because the reason why I do that is it helps me to know how to engage and to know how to set my expectations. So I have best friends those are people who I share my most intimate self with. And then there are like people who I would say like they're like family, right? So even a lot of my family members, I wouldn't say that we're like close enough where I would like share my heart with, or I would like maybe call on for certain things. So I have friends that's become like family to me that they'll always be in my heart, like we'll always rock with each other no matter what, but I may not necessarily like share my most like intimate self with. And so so I like to categorize, have an understanding of like why people are in my life so that I know how to set realistic expectations and I'm not like expecting an associate or expecting someone I'm called to mentor or disciple like a close friend that could like help bear my burden. So I think it's good to know like why people are like in your life and the role they're called to like play in that particular season.
Okay, Shayoon?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel the opposite of Tawana. For me, I'm like a people pleaser to default to the extreme, which is probably a bad thing.
Deliver him, Lord.
All right,
Deliver him.
But I feel like I don't really go in depth like that. It's like we could meet once. You cool? I'm cool. We cool. Whatever. That's my friend. It's like it just is what it is. I don't really break stuff down. There's certain people who I have extensive shared experience with, but then this also feeds into, and I don't know how Mike would feel because he's different. But like for guys, at least a lot of my friends, it's just like we cool. I'm cool.
So it's not
cool.
like deep
So it's just
relationships.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably some more my own personal issues, but it's like, who am I bearing my soul to? Not many people, period. But you cool with me, we're friends. Like, if you want to know something, cool. But so I think for me, of course, everybody needs friends. But I do think sometimes maybe we're even too complex with like categorizing folks when you just meet them. It's like, we cool, all right? Like, I guess.
So who's your friend? I don't know your answer.
Not you. Everyone else here, we're friends.
Actually, he said, "Who is he bearing his soul to?" I'm like, I thought you were bearing it to me. This is a situation. You know how sometimes people think they're closer to you than what it really is.
Yeah.
We're friends.
That's when people
Mike,
get
sorry.
offended.
No, I don't.
Well, do men? Okay, question. But do you feel like men have those like deep relationships, like those deep friendships? Do men have deep friendships?
I feel like you need it, yeah. Is it?
Comment.
I'm not that comfortable with all like, let's just get deep right now. I think it just happens. There are people who I'm like, oh, of course. Like, man, if I'm going through something, there's some people who I know will call me or I will call them. Yeah, so you definitely need it. But I know for just my own shortcomings, like all this emotion stuff, I'm still figuring out. So,
Okay, all right.
That's why men. I mean, we beef like on the low, but I'm learning that whole emotional feeling piece is something that I'm learning to tap into. So, and he is as well, I believe.
Talk about yourself.
He somewhat answered it. He said you need it. What was the question? Do men have it?
Do men have those deep friendships?
Have it. So you didn't quite answer that. You said you need it.
Why do you keep talking about what I said?
Yeah, what about
Who knows?
So do men have that?
Of course, some men do, but not enough, in my opinion. It's very few. Like, I joined a frat in undergrad, a Christian frat, Alpha Nu Omega, and we were forced to share the hard facts and ask the hard questions, right? But men, we often don't do that, right? Because we don't want to bare our souls. We may not feel like we'll get received in the same way. So we need it. Like Shaden said, we need it, but I don't think it happens as often as it should.
And it's probably just not as natural. Like I think what we have again in this DMV Northern Virginia culture community is like nuts because there's anywhere else.
Yeah.
We have men stuff and 30, 40 guys come out. That don't happen nowhere else.
Yeah.
So this is just unique, but it's a good thing. But it's so important to have that because who's gonna hold you accountable? Who's gonna call you out? And we'll probably dig more into this during the men's talk. But who's gonna call you out? Who's gonna call you up? Right. And a man needs another man to call him up. But I can't go into depth right now on that because that's a whole nother
Can I have
thing.
one piece of that?
You certainly can, man of God.
If you push in the way that Mike pushes in, majority of guys will respond. Right? It's just that most guys don't push beyond the initial barrier. Like if I try to reach out to a guy, see what's going on with him, most guys will be like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm good. Out my face.
Okay.
But you keep pushing in. Eventually, I was like, bro, look, I'm going
It's
through
that
this, going through that.
persistence. It's
You know
that
what I'm saying?
persistence, yeah.
It's that persistence. There needs to be an initial connection on some level. But I think I've seen it over and over again with other ministers in my church. They push into keep pushing in, and eventually, that's my little mentor, and they're tight. Right? So I think they need to do that.
Okay, so pushing in, men need men to push in.
Yes, and so all right, cool. We're not gonna go too much in that. You got a question?
No, I was just gonna say for me, as far as friendships, I think as you get older, you start to question the purpose that people have in your life. So like, not so much holding on to a friendship because you've been friends for so long, but like, why are we friends? Like, what purpose do you serve in my life? Like, am I just holding on to this friendship just because we've been homies since the sandbox, or do you serve a greater purpose in my life as a friend? I think I'm starting to like see those friendships differently now. Like, I don't know. Why are we really friends?
Change your friend, y'all.
No, I'm just saying, like, I know a lot of people, but I only consider a certain amount of people like close friends.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
All right. So anybody?
you going, Shay?
I'm not.
What's your relationship status? Single?
Oh wait.
Was that the whole question?
Okay, so
or
the question is,
was that
what's your
answer?
relationship status?
What's your relation? Yeah. So that's for everybody.
I mean, this.
Okay.
Everybody can speak on
Single
it if
can
you
be
want. Or
a
find.
Can we elaborate? How do we elaborate on that?
I'm saying.
Some of the. So here's the thing. Pick a question that you want. And so you can pick them like, that's whack. But we can answer this. So are you single?
Or what's your relationship status?
What's your? Sorry, that's correct.
Right.
What's your relationship status?
Single means a lot of things.
It does.
You know what I'm saying?
So expound. Okay, expound.
Because some
Then-
people say single like I'm just content, me and Jesus, we're fine. And some people are saying single like single reluctantly. Like, you know what I'm saying? So single doesn't just mean single, there's a whole spectrum.
Okay, expound. So we should
underneath
expound.
that. Yeah, I mean, or you
Expound.
can just say single. But it's like, nah, you know, because you be like, I'm single, but I'm just waiting on the Lord. I'm praying earnestly, like Jesus send them
But ain't
right
that still
now.
single?
That's single
Okay,
and.
but
Can we
yeah.
define some
saying?
categories?
Okay.
Yes.
Single and I'm not gonna say that. Single and thirsty.
That sound like a.
Would anybody like categorize
That
themselves?
sound like a
that,
TV
though?
show, single and thirsty.
I don't think they
They
would.
may.
Oh,
They
they
may.
would.
Because I had some thirsty
Oh,
seasons.
no.
Yeah, but would
I
they ain't gonna
say
say like, would you have been like during that season when you've been like, oh yeah, see, I'm single
Yeah,
and
I'm probably
thirsty.
Single and thirsty,
Where my
No.
stuff
I
at?
don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Okay, so you're
Okay, so how are you
okay, but how
categorizing
would you?
yourself?
Okay, and expound. So Shay says we should expound.
Right.
Expound.
So for me, I say I'm single and looking for a wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bam.
Where's she at?
Comment.
Where they at? Where they at?
Why we
You can weigh in the comments below.
That's a good question.
How are you
You
looking?
add that to your
How am I
Did you add that?
looking? What?
Answer.
So guys, comment below your relationships that if you want to, you know, you can expound.
I am single and praying to be found.
Hey.
Okay.
Like I don't want to run after nobody. I don't want to chase after nobody. I don't want to be thirsty.
I'm
Like,
chasing after you.
No matter what I have to do, 'cause I need you more and
Mike is churchy, boy. Man, clap.
He really is, and it was loud.
Okay, so you don't want to. So you're not. You're just waiting. You're kind of waiting to be found. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Cause for me, I want to be found. I don't want to feel like I'm looking like I'm thirsty, like I'm oh snap, like okay, I'm over there, I'm about to slide up, like yes, like I want to be the one where the guy is in the person.
You wanna be
like,
approached.
oh,
Can I-
approach me?
Can I interject?
Come on.
I'm sorry.
We got a lot to say on this topic.
From my own self-experience, I think Christians have the potential. I'm not saying we have the potential to be in such a state of denial that we won't even admit to God where we are. Meaning, like when I was like, I'm engaged now, by the way. So it's
Okay.
like,
Oh, don't be sliding in his DMs, y'all.
before that, it's like, oh no, I'm cool. I'm just single. But it's like, no, I want to be in a
That's
relationship.
good. That's good.
And I
That's
want
good.
to be married.
Yeah.
But even to utter that phrase to be like, oh God, nah, I'm single, but
Right.
I'm not trying to stay here.
Right.
But we'll just be like, no, Lord, I just love you. I just
That's
you know,
good.
Right.
Yeah, like I'm
But it's
waiting
like
right
honest.
now.
to
Yeah.
actually look yourself in the mirror and acknowledge where am I,
That's good.
and to know God can handle it. To say like, I don't want to be single, but I am.
Right.
And there's conflict and tension there, but to like let the conflict exist versus me just being like, nah, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
Right. No,
That's
full well.
that's good.
It is.
That's very good.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we'll just go around. All right, so we'll go around. Okay, so I am.
She was getting prepared. She was like,
I
so
still
are we
don't know what I'm gonna say.
we're gonna skip me and come back, or are we gonna? Sorry,
You gotta take
Go ahead,
Tawana.
Tawana.
I had to, you know.
Go ahead, Tawana.
And if you don't feel
pass me by.
comfortable answering,
No, we're gonna have everybody. We'll get her. Okay,
skip
so
mine,
okay, so I am single. I for sure want to be married. Absolutely want to be married. Everyone have different journeys and stuff, like different, stories or whatnot. Mine isn't like a lack of like pursuit or a lack of like being sought after. It's really just kind of like the relationships haven't worked out and why. So that's what I'm trying to discover. Like, okay, are you just kind of jumping into things, just trying to give people a chance? Are you really waiting on the Lord? Are you really kind of like tuning into the voice of God to hear like, okay, is this really it? without being like pressured. Do you feel pressured to like try to make something happen, or do you feel like you're actually waiting on God? So yes, I'm single and I'm in reflection.
My answer ain't that deep. I'm single.
And what you're looking?
I'm single and doing what you're supposed to do, living my life.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Living my life like it's golden. But yeah, I'm of course in pursuit or in looking, but yeah. And my definition of single is, not in a relationship, not in a commitment, not married.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also single. I'm, I guess, I don't know, dating, meeting people, open. So, yeah, that's my status. And I would define single as, like, there are various stages, but, like, you're single, you're in a relationship, you're engaged, you're married. We don't have to, like, complicate it. I think the church does way too much when they don't need to. Be great.
Okay, guys, so thank you for joining us for part 1 of Culture Convos Table Topics. Make sure to join us again next week. We'll be right back here, part 2, Culture Convos Table Topics. Make sure you come back.